There's been a lot of disagreement on social media about whether or not what Donald Trump says and does is sexist. What he says may seem inoffensive, but words like darling and sweetie are condescending and creepy to women in pretty much any environment outside of a romantic relationship. I would like to clear the air and explain to people who don't face sexism in their lives that the things that Trump says are demeaning to women. And I'd like to run through some examples for you to illustrate how women feel when they hear those words. We know that Donald Trump is sexist. When he thinks no one is listening, he talks about women like they're objects. Behind closed doors, he talks about sexually assaulting them and says things like,
Grab him by the pussy.
you know, locker room talk. In 2016, he called Hillary Clinton
Such a nasty woman.
during the third debate, and so many women thought that such a blatant display of sexism would make him lose. Because surely no one could vote for that. Sexism is supposed to be dead, right? So, us women, horrified by what we're seeing, apparently had too much faith in our fellow Americans. So, let me walk you through it. He surrounds himself with women as a shield, but the curtain has been pulled back just enough that if you pay attention, you can see that he constantly disrespects women. Knowing women isn't enough. Sexists have mothers too. Representative Ted Yoho tried to claim that there's no way he could be sexist because he has a wife and two daughters, but he still found it in himself to call AOC,
and I quote, a fucking bitch.
Donald Trump can't even muster the self-control to treat women on his own team with respect. Just last week, Trump summoned Martha McSally on stage at a rally with
Martha, come here, honey.
Senator Martha McSally, Republican Senator Martha McSally, highly decorated former U.S. Air Force fighter pilot Martha McSally. And then he immediately dismissed her with a
Thank you, darling.
about 3 seconds after she actually got on stage. No senator should get honeyed or darlinged. And then even more recently, he called her up on stage like a dog.
Martha, come up just fast. Quick, quick. Fast. Fast, come on, quick. You got 1 minute. 1 minute, Martha's sake. They don't want to hear this, Martha. Come on, let's go. Quick, 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 quick. Come on, let's go.
When have we ever seen Trump refer to a male senator as darling? The answer is never, because he's sexist. In recent weeks, Trump's sexism has evolved from not so subtle to blaring like claxons. And I know there's so much about the Trump administration and the Republican Party to be horrified by that people don't really know what to focus on, but we need to talk about Donald Trump's sexism. So let's talk about the horrifying fact that Donald Trump, when faced with a female reporter who was unwilling to let him avoid answering her question, decided to dismiss her entirely with,
So cute.
That little comment reminded me of some of the heated arguments I had with adults when I was a teenager, because it's the kind of comment that's usually levied at teenagers. A young woman or girl gets upset about something and tries to argue her case, and the adult in the room thinks she's being overly emotional and doesn't even think that her comments warrant a real response. So they throw, "That's cute," and a derisive chuckle at her to shut her down. Being disrespected in that way is deeply painful. Children and teenagers should never be dismissed so cruelly, and under no circumstances should adult women be treated that way. I didn't sit down to watch Trump's town hall because I didn't want to give him the views, or even an hour of my time. I did later watch the highlights, and that infantilizing comment struck a nerve that has become very raw due to my own experiences as a woman. That little comment by far is the ugliest thing that I have heard Trump say while he knew that the entire world was watching. And that's telling. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, threw, "Haha, so cute," at a female reporter on national television during a town hall that he requested. You cannot honestly believe that Trump would have said "so cute" if that conversation had played out exactly the same, but the moderator had been a man. These are not words that men use against men. It was a display of aggressive misogyny to express that he believed that Savannah Guthrie, the woman doing her job as a moderator, was behaving insolently. I shouldn't even have to spell this out for anyone, but I am, because if someone doesn't say it in plain English, then people can say that they didn't notice. You should have noticed by now, by the way, but I'm telling you, Donald Trump is sexist. Most of the figureheads of the Republican Party are sexist. Lindsey Graham is telling women,
I want every young woman to know there's a place for you in America if you're pro-life. If you embrace your religion and you follow traditional family structure, that you can go anywhere, young lady.
it's a lot of ifs. And giving women that you don't respect seats of power does not absolve you of the sin of sexism. And then when that woman tries to use her seat to shut all the doors that allowed her to climb to her stature, that's sexism too. In the long list of Donald Trump's bigotry, women have constantly been victims of both his words and actions. And so, in closing, I don't care if you have a wife, or daughters, or a mother, or an aunt, or a best girlfriend. I don't care if you are a woman. If you vote for Trump, you're approving sexism. You're looking at every woman in your life and telling her, I don't respect you. And if you vote third party, you're saying you couldn't care less about what happens to the women in your life. Maybe you're not actively supporting sexism, but you don't think it's important enough to actually cast a vote that could prevent 4 more years of President Pussy Grabber.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.